This is always the saddest part of my day, finishing off the pot of coffee. It's a sad moment. Come on. All right, let's get into this. Hello there and welcome. Welcome back to the channel. This is a standard galley kitchen that you'll find in just about every apartment. What makes this place special is the building is well over 60 years old, and I'm pretty sure that on the day no one had a level, a square, or even a tape measure. The joys of living in an older building. Those of you who watched the kitchen cart video may have noticed the backsplash on the sink side of my galley kitchen. It had a gray brick wall treatment. I did like the look, but there seemed to be a chemical reaction between the vinyl and the caulking I used along the edge. It resulted in a puckering of the paper all along the line of caulk. I did live with it for a few years, but was suddenly overcome with the urge to change it out. I timed it a little early for my fall deep clean, but it was a no-brainer to move the cleaning schedule up a bit. Whether painting, wallpapering, or using peel and stick as I have here, a clean surface is an absolute must. I've decided on a backsplash paper that is definitely bold. I'm embracing both the 1950s love of color and the design principles that you apply to a powder room, which is the less square footage, the more bold you can be. And when I show you the paper I chose, you'll see what I mean. Ta-da! Check this bad boy out. Right? This wall, the sticky outy part behind the cutting boards, will be covered with the plaid paper above the cupboards on both sides of the galley as well. I'm contemplating making a frame out of coal molding for this chicken and mushroom paper. I've been wanting to use it up for some time now. This seems to be the perfect opportunity. As already mentioned, having a clean surface is important, so I'll be washing the walls, removing the old caulking, and reapplying the caulking before papering. I don't want to repeat the puckering. First, let's get the upper parts out of the way. Before, after. Before and after. I've decided to use 3/8 inch molding for the top part of the frame and 5/8 to run along the bottom and up the sides. I'm using Quick Seal by DAP, which is an adhesive caulk. Because gravity, I should have had some supports on hand, but some creative thinking and problem solved. Measure once and cut twice is my motto. No, not really, but I did cut it a little short, so that has to be fixed. I'll be honest, these two miter cuts did my head in for a bit. I'll be running a line of caulk on both sides of the molding. Because of the gap, I will end up using a bit more caulk than anticipated, but still, 1 tube was all I needed for this project. I'm not very proficient at this at all, but the caulking around the sink needs to be redone. I could use clear, I have it, but since I need the practice, white will let me see my mistakes a lot more. And I really need more practice. Yikes. The paint I am using is a melamine cabinet and furniture paint. I will also be touching up the cabinet front fascia, as I slopped badly when applying some spray foam insulation between the cabinet and the bulkhead. I'm not concerned about slopping paint inside the frame, as all that will have to be sanded and repainted when we leave here. I quickly realized that rolling on paint was a bad idea. I have no desire to wait for that paint to dry before the peel and stick, and it will probably peel off on removal anyway, so no need to waste the paint. This is for those of you who find a single tape pull cool. Yeah, I'm one of you. I am using PVC molding trim, so I am ensuring adhesion by not papering right to the edge. This way the adhesive will straddle both the wall and the paper. Attaching anything to peel and stick can lead to it pulling off the wall. I'm measuring about 1/4 inch in and will place the paper there. Anything that overhangs that will be cut off. There are a lot of chickens on this paper, and I wanted to make sure I got all of them, so I am measuring exactly. If your walls are as crooked as mine, you'll have to be sure to measure each strip as you go and leave a little extra on the top and the bottom. You can remove extra, but adding in is tricky to make the seams disappear. To line up properly, my left hand is placing the paper down while my right hand is keeping the rest of the paper from touching the wall. When I know I'm lined up, then I smooth the rest down, starting in the center and smoothing outward to the edges on a diagonal. I thought at first that the molding was too shiny, but once it was applied, that concern went away. The sheen to it matches the paint finish enough that I no longer notice it. At $15 for around 10 feet, that may seem expensive, but it is still cheaper than wood trim. I chose a PVC trim that is the same design as the clay molding I used on the kitchen cart. This sticky outy bit is done. I had to piece some parts, but I checked with the hubster and he couldn't see where I did, even though now you can see it. If this paper ever gets cheap again, I'll redo it. Now onto this wall. I like the beechwood print at the time, but not so much now. Let's start stripping this off. First though, these pin hooks have to be removed. I have found the easiest way is with a sturdy, narrow putting knife. The wider ones are too bendy. Any pins left behind are easily removed with pliers. Just slide it back into the plastic once removed, as these are reusable. When it comes to removing the peel and stick, sometimes it will remove paint. It isn't often, but if the walls weren't prepped and painted properly in the past, you could easily get what I'm getting here. Let's just be real here. Professionalism waved bye-bye to the handyman here a long time ago. So I found no primer behind paint. Paint that has primer behind it should not do this. Unclean wallboard behind the peeling paint, and many other issues here that all boil down to others not really caring about doing the job correctly. If you rent, you're probably familiar with that type. If you find you're having a difficult time removing the paper, use a heat gun or a blow dryer set to its highest temp to warm the area just before pulling the paper. And when you're pulling, try to stay as close to the wall as you can, not pulling out, but pulling down. I am removing some paint, but as I see it, I've been here almost a decade now, and that time frame is considered a part of normal wear and tear. In other words, they would have to touch up the paint when I move out anyway. As long as the walls are prepped for paint when I leave, I'm not responsible for the repainting. This is the paper I've chosen. It does have a bit of a texture to it. I got it from Amazon and it wasn't a warehouse deal. Now when I put the other paper up about 6 years ago now, I plumbed a line. Why it's here, I don't know when it should be here, but I will make use of it since it's there. Plumb bob or plumb line is an old way of finding a straight line utilizing gravity. It's simple and can be done with anything you can hang from a string. Here I've used a rock and some butcher string. Just line up your square to the string and make your mark. If you don't have a square or you don't want to rig up a bob, then a level will do. Here's a handy tip. Lysol removes pencil marks like they were never there. This stuff really sticks. I'm used to peel and stick that is easy to reposition. I am venturing outside the line a little bit, but not as bad as I thought I was going to, because I basically had one go at this and slap it down. Let's talk peel and stick. Why am I using it? Doesn't it look shiny and cheap? Why not just use wallpaper? What to keep in mind is that I am a renter of an apartment in a city. Peel and stick is a renter's friend. It is easy to apply and fix application errors. And when the time comes to move or you just want to change, it is rather easy to remove. If you're Gen X or older, you may remember covering school books with Mac Tack or contact paper. That still exists at the dollar store, but vinyl peel and stick wall covering has come a long way since then. At the end of the video, I will share some photos of other areas that I've used peel and stick. As for wallpaper, I've used it here in the bathroom and living room. I took a chance that future me won't be too mad at the job of removal. I hope I don't regret it. It takes a lot more work to remove than peel and stick. You can also find some cheaper peel and stick more often than wallpaper, so there's that as well. Just because you rent and stick to a budget doesn't mean you have to live with builder's beige or high-rise gray. I recommend keeping a watch on Amazon warehouse deals. In the tools and home improvement category, you'll find wallpaper. I recommend hanging on to the backside of your peel and stick. It makes fantastic table protectors, whether you're painting or crafting. Just hang on to it, you won't regret it. To wrap around this half moon light, I took measurements of left, right, and midpoint, keeping in mind that I wanted to tuck behind the light a little bit. I found out the light isn't actually a semicircle, and I took a guess, and well, I got lucky. I did do this in 2 pieces to make it easy on myself, and then I ran into a snag. I kind of started veering off a little bit, which will only get worse, so I cut it off and moved the paper up to the point where I started going wonky so that I can continue going straight-ish. I've cut just above where the paper behind ends, giving me a clean matched cut. I'm now going to peel it off, hopefully without issue, because man, this paper sticks. Now I'm going to go behind and remove the little strip. If your paper hides overlap seams well, then you can just leave it. I had to wait for more paper to arrive. I haven't sat down to redo the math, but I was quite sure I had ordered a large enough roll. It is possible I didn't get what I thought I would. But anyhow, now that it has arrived, I need to pull everything out, including, it seems, this pantry. So I thought I'd take a moment for show and tell. This was an $8.99 Value Village buy. That was a jet black stereo component / entertainment center. Now it's a perfectly sized pantry for 2 people who shop weekly. And it is in my way. Moving on to the stove side of the galley kitchen, and I'll be using the same striped wood grain paper here. Since I've spent enough money on a rental, I will be using up what paper I have left in a creative way, which essentially means without having to buy more, so do what I can with what I've got. I will only be papering behind the toaster oven, and partially behind the kitchen cart. But first, coffee. The observant amongst you will have seen the clock and thought, wow, that was a 2-hour and 45-minute coffee. But this redecoration is being done in my spare time, and given my ADD, well, I'm just lucky I did this all in the same day. I wanted to somehow hide this cord cover, as I will not be papering over it, just above and below. I will be using PVC trim, what they call tile edging, with a rounded profile on this side to sort of mimic the look of the cord cover that's on the other side, in hopes that it won't seem so prominent, and then I'll just paper below, not above. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we are finished. And this side, I think the trim looks good. The only thing that's bothering me now, my weird brain, is symmetry. I put the trim there for symmetry, to mimic where they're hiding the cord for the fan. Now I just got to get over the fact that there's no paper here, but that's maybe fixable. We'll see. I've also refreshed the paint on the front fascia of the cupboards on both sides. As I mentioned at the beginning of the video, here are some photos of where I've used peel and stick: foyer, bathroom, my second kitchen. I've even used it to line the back of bookcases and my fireplace. It's a handy thing. Don't be afraid of it.